Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to talk a little bit about intake manifolds. And so we've got something really unique, so we figured we'd shoot a quick little video on it and show you guys the end result. I think you're really going to like it. So this one is going to be something totally different than our standard carbon fiber that we normally do on a lot of our other videos if you followed us in the past. And so what we've got here is we've got an intake manifold that we've already got it prepped out, we've already got it painted, and we've already got it ready to be dipped. So let's kind of go over a little bit of what we've done so far, so then that way you know how to prep it out whenever you do have one come in. Of course, we've got all of our plugs going all the way through here, so that way whenever we pull these out, we are still able to put anything in the holes that we need. Also, we do have down here for the injectors, so then that way everything still stays really well in there. And also we've taped off all of this right here for this whole top, or for this whole front plate, so then that way all of the mating areas all in here, everything's good, as well as we have taped up all of this right here, so then that way we try to limit almost any type of coating going inside or on any mating surface all the way around this. So definitely make sure that you take the time and prep it out correctly, so then that way whenever you are about ready to spray or sandblast or anything like that, you know that it's going to be 100% the way that it needs to be, and everything will go back together a lot smoother at the end of the day. Also, we've taped off any of these nipples right through here for any of your hoses or anything like that. So that way, whenever we pull everything back off, everything's good. It's all just like it was factory, but it's gonna have a lot better, more unique coating all the way around. So we've done these intakes before, and a couple of things are going to be needed to remember, so then that way whenever you go to dip it, you have the expectation of what's going to happen. And so one thing is these areas right here that are raised portions like this, they are not going to do very well on the dip. And so one thing that you could do is come back in after you dip it, and you can black these in. I've seen that done before, or you can just leave them the way that they are, but inevitably whenever the film hits right here as it's wrapping around, as it comes around, it hits here, it's going to make a weird shape, and then once it gets down into these little pocket areas all in through here after being hit with this, it's not going to look that great. So definitely keep that in mind. Another thing is most of the time you're going to have either cool packs or valve covers or something like that that's going to be on the sides right here. So usually the main focus is mainly in the tunnel ram or on this part right here. But if you want to try to make everything look as good as possible, just be mindful of that whenever you're choosing your film or anything like that. So enough about what we've got done so far. Let's go ahead and get started with the film. This film that we're going to be using is called Old Glory. It's more like an old tattered flag. Really cool film. So we're going to be laying this out, getting this dip. This is going to be pretty simple. It's going to be pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So we're just going to have it at an angle and pushing it straight down into the water. So nothing super crazy about this. The main thing is just definitely getting our activator right and definitely getting a good angle, so that way we don't trap as much air as possible. So let's get started. All right, so a couple of things to remember on this film that we have. So if you take a look at this, you can kind of see we've got all of our stars over here and then all of our stripes right here. So whenever we are getting ready to prep this out, we got to make sure which way we want it to go, because we could take and go like this, to where half of it is in stars, half of it is in stripes like that. But the other cool thing is that we can also take and do it like this right here, to where the front portion has the stars and then the rear portion has the stripes. So it's kind of more of a universal, and so you can make it however you want. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to put the stars up in the front about third portion of it, and then we're going to do about the 2/3 of it in the stripes. So we definitely have to make sure that we lay this out correctly, so that way whenever we go to dip it, we know exactly which way it needs to go down into the water, so that way it comes out the way that the customer wants. So in this case right here, we can see that we've got a little bit of the film wanting to curl up on us. So not a big deal. We'll just unravel this right here, and then we'll put some tape down just to kind of hold that in place. And then the same thing with this. We'll put some tape down on this side. We'll hold it in place. All right, so now that we've got that tight, now we can go ahead, and this is going to be the front. So this part right here is going to get the stars. So we can flip this over like this. And so this right here is pretty much exactly how our part is going to be dipped down into the water. So we've got a few inches of excess over here. We could probably bring that back just a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set that about like that. So then that way we have plenty of room for extra all the way around the dip. We're going to lay out a couple of pieces of tape right here. That way it helps prevent any curling. And then we're going to go ahead and get this in the water and start dipping. All right, now that we've got that, we can move this out of the way. And then now we've got our film, so let's go ahead, let's take it, put it in the water, and let's get to dipping. All right, so we've got it all finished up, and I really think it came out looking amazing. So kind of give you a little recap. We've got everything dipped all the way around this entire thing. The film actually stretched really well all the way around in these areas that I was talking about that might have a little bit more stretch in them. But thankfully with this pattern right here, it is very forgiving, so it definitely worked out really well. Just a few minor touch-ups on the entire thing, but all in all, everything came out looking really good. We went ahead and went with a flat finish, so that way it went with the distressed look, and also it gave it a more true to life look with it being distressed and a tattered flag and things like that. So hopefully this video has really helped you guys out. If you have any questions or comments, then definitely leave them below. We'd love to hear from you on anything hydrographics related, as well as let me know what you think on how this turned out, or if you would have done anything differently. We'd definitely love to hear about it. Also, if you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you subscribe to our weekly tips and tricks on anything hydrographics related. I'm Bryan from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.